Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The Bold and the Beautiful B&P. Spoilers for Friday, January 17. Revealed that Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline Massinswood, will head back to the office and act like she's ready to hit the ground running when it comes to making Forrester the best it can be. Nevertheless, Hope Logan, Annika Noel, will remain on edge over Steffy's sudden change of heart and ulterior motives. Despite Steffy's attempt to sell Hope on the idea of working in harmony, Hope will quiz her and feel like there's more to her agenda. Meanwhile, Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Buddick, will enjoy a little more bonding time with Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K., but it won't be long until she's forced to deal with Brooke Logan's, Catherine Kelly Lang wrath. Brooke will rip into Taylor for jumping at the chance to get back together with Ridge, but Taylor may argue that Brooke's the one who drove him away. Although Brooke tried to explain her thought process when it came to accepting the CEO position, Ridge doesn't agree with how she handled things and still feels betrayed. Of course, Brooke feels pretty betrayed as well considering how fast Ridge turned to Taylor. Brooke shoved Taylor recently on her way out the door, but she'll launch a real confrontation with her on Friday's B&B episode. Taylor and Brooke are gearing up for a major showdown that's sure to get explosive on both sides. Speaking of explosive showdowns, one is coming up for Lai Finnegan, Naomi Matsuda, and Poppy Nozawa, Romy Park, as well. Lee just showed Poppy the proof that Tom's star, Clint Howard, is not Luna Nozawa's, Lisa Yamada, father, and suggested they both knew who Luna's dad truly was. On Friday's show, Lai will accuse Poppy of having a fling with Jack Finnegan, Ted King, that resulted in her pregnancy all those years ago. Will Poppy break down and confess that Lai is right? It's certainly possible that Jack is Luna's father, since all signs point to them covering up an old affair. Jack definitely has affection for Poppy and is a known cheater considering what happened with Shyla Sharp, Kimberlyn Brown. However, the show's also dropped enough hints to potentially reveal that Poppy hooked up with John Finn Finnegan, Tanner Novlan, around the time of Luna's conception. If Finn is Luna's bio-dad, then it makes sense for Poppy to lie and say it was Jack now that Lay's backed her into this corner. Whatever the case, Poppy will likely admit Jack is Luna's bio-dad, so we'll see if that's the full story or not. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Poppy and Lee's face-off will bring some tough emotions, so stick with us for more predictions on the next chapter and updates on any other paternity news. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers Friday, January 17. Brooke attacks Taylor in Furious Showdown. It was another day in Los Angeles, but for Brooke Logan and Dr. Taylor Hayes, it would be anything but ordinary. The tension between the two women had been simmering for decades, punctuated by their endless battles over Ridge Forrester, their children, and the intertwined lives of the Forrester, Logan, and Spencer families. But on this fateful Friday, the simmer turned to a boil, and a showdown erupted that left everyone reeling. As the sun rose over the Forrester estate, Brooke Logan's mood was as stormy as the sea. News of Taylor's recent interference in Ridge's life had reached her ears, and she was livid. Taylor, in her usual poised manner, had been counseling Ridge on his family matters, particularly where Thomas and Douglas were concerned. Brooke, however, viewed Taylor's involvement as a direct attack on her marriage and an attempt to manipulate Ridge back into her orbit. The Forrester mansion was the chosen battleground for the confrontation. Ridge had just stepped out to take a call from Steffy, leaving Brooke and Taylor alone in the opulent living room. The tension was palpable. Taylor's serene demeanor only fueled Brooke's fury. "How dare you?" Brooke began, her voice low but laced with venom. "How dare you interfere in my marriage? Haven't you caused enough damage over the years?" Taylor, always the composed psychiatrist, took a deep breath before responding. "Brooke, I'm not interfering. Ridge and I share children and a long history. He's allowed to talk to me about his concerns." But Brooke was beyond reasoning. "Oh, please, Taylor. Don't act like you're just a concerned friend. You've been trying to worm your way back into Ridge's life ever since you returned to Los Angeles. Let me remind you, he chose me." Taylor's expression hardened. "Ridge and I will always share something you can't understand, Brooke. It's not about competition, it's about family." Brooke's eyes blazed with anger. Family. Is that what you call meddling? You've always been sanctimonious, Taylor, but this takes the cake. If you're so focused on family, maybe you should concentrate on your own flaws instead of pointing out everyone else's. Taylor's calm exterior began to crack. You have some nerve, Brooke. Coming from someone who's built her life on stealing other women's husbands, that's rich. The words struck a nerve, and Brooke's temper exploded. At least I don't hide behind a facade of righteousness while manipulating everyone around me. You're a hypocrite, Taylor. Always have been. The argument escalated, their voices echoing through the mansion. As insults flew, years of unresolved pain and rivalry surfaced. Taylor accused Brooke of destroying families and being a bad influence on Ridge and the children. Brooke fired back, accusing Taylor of using her profession as a weapon to manipulate and control. Just as the confrontation seemed ready to turn physical, Ridge re-entered the room. His presence did little to diffuse the tension. What the hell is going on here? Ridge demanded, looking from Brooke to Taylor. Both women turned to him, speaking over each other in a cacophony of accusations. Ridge held up his hands, silencing them. Enough. I won't stand here and listen to you tear each other apart. Brooke was the first to respond. Ridge, you need to put an end to this. Tell Taylor to stay out of our lives. Taylor's voice was steady but defiant. I'm not going anywhere, Ridge. We have a shared history, and I'll always care about you and our children. Brooke doesn't get to dictate that. Ridge's face was a mixture of frustration and exhaustion. Both of you need to stop this. This constant fighting isn't helping anyone. It's hurting our family. But Brooke wasn't ready to let it go. Ridge, you need to decide. Are you going to let Taylor keep interfering, or are you going to stand by me? Ridge's response was diplomatic, but non-committal. I'm not choosing sides. Both of you are important to me in different ways. But this fighting has to end. The words hung in the air, unsatisfying to both women. Brooke stormed out of the mansion, her frustration boiling over. Taylor remained behind, her expression a mixture of triumph and sadness. Ridge, caught in the middle as always, could only shake his head, wondering if there would ever be peace between the two women who had defined so much of his life. Outside, Brooke's thoughts raced. She knew Taylor wasn't going to back down, but neither was she. This was more than a battle for Ridge. It was a fight for her place in the Forrester family and her sense of security. As she drove away, she vowed to find a way to ensure Taylor could no longer disrupt her life. Meanwhile, Taylor watched Ridge from across the room. She couldn't help but wonder if Brooke was right. Was she clinging to something that no longer belonged to her, or was Brooke's insecurity proof that Taylor still had a chance to reclaim what she'd lost? The Bold and the Beautiful's Friday Showdown was a reminder of the intense emotions and complex relationships that make the show so compelling. For Brooke and Taylor, the battle lines were clearer than ever. But in a world where alliances shift and secrets abound, one thing was certain: this was far from over. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay with us.